Good morning, all. Welcome to Co-Creating Your Reality, where we build experiences and a life that we desire. A society which we would like to have, a life or experiences we would like to experience, where we build this utilizing the spiritual laws of the universe, a commitment to right action or moral action, alignment with the spiritual laws of the universe, where we teach discipline, commitment to that which we want, loyalty to the path upon which we are upon, right? Welcome to Co-Creating Your Reality, where we teach micro and macro sociology, and blend that with the spiritual laws of the universe to create a spiritual sociology, so that sociology can advance to the next level and we can actually create the change that we wish to see in the world, instead of focusing on syllabus, focusing on grades, focusing on the wrong things in life, right? So this conversation is about, I just came up with this topic actually whilst I was walking, because I'm actually walking along this brick road. If you can see, it starts, it makes a bend and it goes straight down along a straight and narrow path, right? So this conversation is about following the brick wall, right? Walking along the brick wall, and it has to do with the transmutation of energy. Following the brick wall, also known as following the straight and narrow path, following the brick wall, also known as following the straight and narrow path, also known as being led to goal, transmuting led to goal, right? Because that's what following the straight and narrow path, also known as the yamas and the niyamas, also known as the path of non-violence, the pathway of non-violence, the hermetic principles, natural law, spiritual law. Spiritual law has to do with transmuting negative experiences into learning lessons, so that nothing in life is really a failure, right? Nothing in life is really a failure. Everything is a win-win situation, because it's either you win or it's either you learn, right? It's either you win or it's either you learn. There is no failure, there is no loss to be had, right? Either you win or you learn. Either way, it is an experience. So following the brick wall, or following the straight and narrow path, and not swerving from that path, is the means of transmuting lead to gold. And this is the essence of alchemy, right? This is the essence of what an alchemist does. Transmute energy, turn lead into gold, right? Through following the straight and narrow path, right? Or following this brick wall, right? So yesterday, in my conversation yesterday, I would have introduced the topic of repatriation when I had just mentioned it, and I said I am not looking for any repatriation, and I was making reference to a particular topic I was making reference to a particular topic regarding compensation for psychological trauma, right? Compensation for psychological trauma, right? So I would have said this in reference to the police raid that happened, well, the 2 police incidents I've had within the past year, in which abuse of power, human power and authority was meted out to me by the police service of Trinidad and Tobago, right? Abuse of power, right, was meted out to me, right, which the police service of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago exercised or over-exercised their power, right, and intimidation tactics, which happens all across the world to everybody of varying ethnicities, cultures, origins, whatever, right? So I would have experienced psychological trauma due to this experience. I would have experienced psychological trauma, right? My whole mind was fucked up after those 2 incidents happened, right? I'm not going to lie about it. It was traumatic initially, right? Yesterday I made the statement that I've gotten over it by now and I am not seeking any repatriation, also known as, what is repatriation? Repatriation is compensation for what happened to us in the past, right? Financial, economic compensation for the traumas that happened to us in our past due to the human authority at the time, right? So it deals with the past, right? It deals with past situations. Yeah, it deals with past situations and trauma that we would have experienced in the past, and seeking or asking the authorities who would have been responsible, right, for that trauma, right, to compensate us or to repatriate us, right? So why I'm bringing up this topic is that repatriation has been an ongoing issue in the Caribbean, ongoing discussions and so on regarding repatriation for slavery and these things, repatriation for slavery, repatriation for the experiences of slavery and things, right? Now, when a negative experience happens to us, right, we have 2 choices as to how to react. Well, we have a bunch of choices as to how to react. Point is, we have choice because that was the gift given to us by the Creator, right? Choice or free will is a gift granted to us by the Creator, right? So if a negative circumstance happened to you 10 years back, right? Negative circumstance happened to you 10 years back, right? And in a similar vein, we are comparing this, drawing reference to, because as within, so without, right? Hermetic principle, right? Negative experience happened to the collective, right? Centuries back, right? Now, you have been asking, begging, preaching, right, for compensation, for financial, to be financially, economically compensated for this for decades now, right, for this negative trauma that you went through, right? I've been asking the relevant persons, the relevant people involved for compensation for the situation, and nobody is taking you on, right? Nobody is taking you on. Nobody is listening to your concerns. Nobody actually cares whatsoever, right? Yeah, nobody is listening to your plea, listening to your cries, right? Because that which had happened in the past, and I'll reference to myself again, right, to give an example. my police rate. How much times have I come here and made videos about my police rate? Has anybody reached out to me to tell me who was responsible for the police rate? I made a complaint to the police complaint authority. They take months only to tell me that they have no answer to what happened, right? Months they take to give me the answer, right? I've been trying to find out what exactly happened. Have I gotten an answer? Have I received compensation for it? No, right? And in a similar manner, I'm drawing reference to this issue of repatriation, right? Where cultural leaders in the Caribbean and stuff have been an ongoing conversation, right? Repatriation, where a particular ethnicities and so on are requesting or have been requesting repatriation for things that happened in the past, and nothing ever had come out of it. Now when this situation happened, you have two choices as to how to react, right? Because a negative circumstance happened, how we react can determine our destiny, can determine where we go, right? You have two choices. You could either sit and complain and wail and wallow and self-pity in that situation for the rest of your life, or you could pick up yourself, heal yourself, and keep walking, right? You have two options basically, right? You can continue wallowing in self-pity, or you could pick yourself up, follow the brick wall, follow the straight and narrow path, which is the path that I've advocated for healing, and I mean healing from the root, which is true healing, right? Not band-aid healing, right? The path of non-violence, the path of withdrawing from systems that inflict violence, withdrawing from consumption of violence, right? Is the path to healing, right? So we're talking about repatriation, and what is true repatriation, and why have Caribbean leaders attached the term repatriation to finances only, economics only, rather than attaching the term repatriation to the right knowledge, and teaching what true repatriation is, which is taking back your own power, empowering yourself. Taking back your power is empowering yourself, and taking back your power is an easy thing to do, right? Just don't give your power, also known as your vote, do not give your power, also known as your vote. That is your true power, right? And I'm repeating this thing every day. I'm literally repeating this thing every day, but on different topics, right? I'm using different sociological concepts, topics, ideas to bring across the same damn point every single day, right? Every day, right? Because it needs to be drilled in the consciousness of people, right? Taking back your power is not as hard. You don't need to have any big revolution on the streets, right? You don't need to have 1 million placards with 1 million people on the savannah, on the ground, on the square, right? These things are simply not necessary, right? All it takes is to not show up on election day to vote for the people that you complain about, right? Do not show up on election day to vote for the people who you complain about, right? Regardless of which government, they are both sides of the same coin, right? That is how you take back your power. Applying natural law, applying spiritual law is your repatriation, right? And people need to understand that. Leaders, cultural leaders, and otherwise leaders, whoever, right? I have placed myself here in this position, on coming online here every day. I have placed myself here in this position to speak and to be a leader in my own right, so that I can give people the knowledge with which they could heal themselves. I can give people the knowledge with which they can heal themselves and take back their power, right? True understanding spiritual law, true understanding following the straight and narrow path, true understanding taking back that which belongs to you, right? Which is your internal power, right? And unless cultural leaders teach this part of the yamas, part of non-violence, then otherwise you will always just remain in a cycle of being a victim, calling for financial compensation when you could actually have way more than that, because the real wealth is knowledge. Real wealth is knowledge, right? And this may not be in your lifetime, but your children will benefit from this. Your grandchildren will benefit from this, from knowledge, right? So it's a sacrifice that one has to make for the sake of, right? And not many are willing to make that type of sacrifice, right? Not many are willing to walk the long pathway, the straight and narrow pathway of non-violence, right? People prefer to get on bad, go out on the street, shoot up everybody, make a fool out of yourself, and then still the same government you come and voting for every year, right? Every 5 years. That making any sense?